Hey, what is up everyone? Mike here, and today we're going to go over the top 5 most interesting and expensive items to ever sell on eBay. Number 5 is the Honus Wagner cigarette card. It sold for $1.2 million. This item was auctioned off in a 10-day auction which started at $500,000. There was only a total of 13 bids, but it got all the way up to $1.2 million in that time frame. But now let's get into why this card is so interesting and so valuable. Honus Wagner was a really famous baseball player, and at the time he was really a big public figure. The tobacco company wanted to make more sales, so they just went without his permission and made cards with his face on it to sell tobacco. Honus Wagner was not a smoker. This really made him angry, so he threw a big fit and told them to destroy all of the cards and that they weren't allowed to use them to sell their brand. In the end, roughly 50 cards were already sold, and they're the only ones that exist today. The reason this specific card is so valuable, besides being one of 50, is one of the few that's still in near mint condition and it has been auctioned off only a few times. Number 4 is the famous God letter written by Albert Einstein. It sold for $3,100,000. So what makes this letter so interesting is the fact that it was written right before Einstein died and to another philosopher. That philosopher's name was Eric Gudkin, and in this letter, Einstein stated that he simply didn't believe God existed. But what makes this item even cooler is the person who sold it bought it just a few years earlier for $404,000, and just a few years after that they were able to flip it on eBay for $3 million, which is just an amazing ROI, and it's a really cool story. Number 3 is Action Comic number 1, which is the first appearance of Superman, which sold for $3.2 million. As many of you may know, this is the comic that first featured Superman ever. What really makes this cool is there was only 50 copies of the original print, and it sold for just 10 cents when it came out. This item was consigned from Darren Adams, who's the owner of a comic book shop over in Washington. Crazy enough, the consignor started the auction at just 99 cents. Within 48 hours, there was already a massive bidding war, and it ended up selling for over $1 million higher than the previous top comic it sold for. Number 2 is the Gulfstream Jet, which sold for $4.9 million. In 2001, Tyler Jet listed up one of their jets for sale on eBay. What really made this sale awesome is the item sold very quickly into an African-based aircraft facility. When this item sold, it beat the previous aircraft sale by $3 million. Although it's not the top anymore, it was for a long time. And number 1, which absolutely blows every other sale on eBay out of the water, is the infamous Giga Yacht. It sold for $160 million. Crazy enough, if you add up every other sale I mentioned in this video, you still only have about 1/10 of the sale of this item, which is just ridiculous. A company called 4Yacht had this massive yacht designed by Frank Mulder, who's a famous ship architect. This yacht has over 10 stories, 10 VIP suites, a massive 55-foot pool, and a gigantic movie theater all on top of it. The thing is beyond ridiculous, but the craziest part about this whole thing is it was purchased before it was even put together. It was rumored to have been purchased by a Russian billionaire that collects yachts. I wanted to mention one bonus item. You know, it has to be video game related. This is the Nintendo World Championship cartridge. It sold for $99,902. And cool enough, I actually have the link down below. For all of you that don't know, Nintendo used to hold the World Championship tournament, and basically I believe 5 people would compete on stage live with this game. Now the cartridges were made just for the event, so there was only a handful of them ever made, and one of them was found just within the recent years. The label's torn off, it's barely recognizable, and it's still sold for $99,000. Alright everyone, I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate it so much. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I hope you like this video and the series. I'll be doing it every Tuesday. I'll change topics, so if you have any ideas for topics, go ahead and put it in the comments down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.